Hello viewers. Today we were supposed to go live at 6 p.m. to discuss about the search under GST on various flour mills located in West Bengal. Due to a technical problem which Google gifted us, we couldn't go live because Google was down. So we recorded the session and it will be uploaded on the YouTube channel of MyTaxPort. So in case you have not subscribed with us yet, do subscribe to our channel so that you can stay connected with us. Hello, I am Sakshi Jhacharya and today with me I have CA Manish Raj Bhandaria, who is a practicing chartered accountant, and since he has worked closely with this industry, he will be able to guide us through the technicalities which are associated with the search. What is it that the taxpayers must take care of? What are the necessary courses of action which these taxpayers should take care of? And also, what is it that the professionals or auditors must ensure is done? So first let's talk about what exactly is this industry all about. So sir, please do help me with this because in case I just make a mistake, do correct me. So what happens is that the food department, the food and supplies department of the state government enters into a contract with millers, the wheat millers, the flour millers.
Right.
So what they do is they provide wheat in raw form in gunny bags to these millers. फिर क्या होता है कि ये मिलर्स उसको प्रोसेस करते हैं जिससे आटा बनता है एंड दिस आटा और द व्हीट फ्लावर इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड थ्रू पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. तो बेसिकली पूरा प्रोसेस ये है दैट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इज प्रोवाइडिंग आटा इन गनी बैग्स, सॉरी व्हीट इन गनी बैग्स टू दीज मिलर्स एंड द मिलर्स आर प्रोसेसिंग इट इनटू आटा. Now, इस पूरे प्रोसेस में 95% of the output is the flour or atta and 5% comprises of 1% refraction and 4% bran.
Correct.
Right? Now what happens, this bran and refraction is actually a non-monetary consideration for the millers. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the entire problem in this particular case is about the tax rate of the milling charges which these millers are going to get since the ownership of wheat is not transferred to the millers, right sir?
Right.
Yes. So what happened was I came across a news article which read.
Before that, just I want to add one point. Ki millers are getting income in the form of crushing income. That is, one portion is they are getting in cash, and one portion is non-monetary consideration. Cash portion is definitely what they are getting in their bank account, and the non-monetary part is you can say the value of bran, refraction, and also the gunny bags ka value, जो भी बोरा जिसको अपने बोलते हैं, उसका भी value, because the gunny bags is left to the millers, because after making the flour, they pack it in their own material, okay, and on the packing it's very clearly mentioned it's for PDS. तो we can conclude कि ये जो मटेरियल कहीं और डाइवर्ट नहीं होगा, it will definitely go to the public through PDS.
Okay sir. So what happened was I read this news article after which I had called up sir to find out exactly क्या हो रहा है. So it was mentioned that there is a GST search and there is a tax evasion of about 50 crore rupees. Right?
Yeah, fine. It was really very funny to read the newspaper. It was like if they are giving a verdict. Instead of news, they were giving the verdict. I don't want to name the newspaper, but it was clearly mentioned कि tax की चोरी हुई है, ज़्यादा tax होना चाहिए. How they can write such things? They have just asked the department. They haven't asked the millers कि what is going with them. भाई वो लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? They haven't asked, just सीधे कि tax की चोरी हुई है. So this was really bad from the journalism side. But ठीक है, अपने उसको ignore करते हैं. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's something that is implied, I think.
But yes, that was not the news. That was a verdict given by the newspaper.
So, sir, I would like you to throw some light on the search, what exactly happened.
Yeah, lots of search were carried on in West Bengal, especially on the big millers. Okay, the search was carried on, and for the small millers, a summon was issued. This was all conducted by DGGI directly from Delhi headquarters. Okay, so in search and in the summon, they are claiming the tax rate on milling charges, or you can say crushing income for the millers, should be at the rate of 18%. 18% का tax rate वो लोग demand कर रहे हैं, and many millers were paying tax at the rate of 5%, and most of them were not paying tax at all. फिर उनका क्या, as per them, this particular income, crushing income is exempt in GST. तो लोग टैक्स नहीं दे रहे थे और कुछ लोग 5% दे रहे थे, and department is claiming 18%. So they have collected, so far as I read in the newspaper, they have collected lots of tax at the rate of 18%. और भाई जिनको संबंध है, department is trying to collect further.
Okay, so they are basically contesting that 18% should
right,
be the tax
they are contesting
rate.
18%.
But this reminds me of an advance ruling which you had represented. This was back in Feb 2020, where I think it was concluded that such services are exempt under GST.
Right, Sakshi. Yeah, I represented in that advance ruling where I argued, where I asked for the GST rate on this particular crushing income, and the bench gave the ruling that if material component in this whole service is less than 25%, because let me tell you one thing, this is a composite supply. Why composite supply? Because the millers are providing materials, that is for packing, and also the crushing services. So it's a composite supply. So for composite supply, if component of material is less than 25%, and if this composite supply is with respect to some, you can say, person interested in Panchayat Article 243G, 11th schedule of the Constitution, तो भाई उसके लिए अगर ऐसा कुछ है, then it will be exempt provided material का component is less than 25%. Okay, so definitely it is for the PDS, and PDS is mentioned in the 11th schedule, and on the packing material also it's very clearly mentioned that this is for PDS. So definitely it's qualifying that part. Simply it was supposed to check that कि material का component is less than 25%. If it is less than 25%, then there will be no GST, it will be exempted.
So basically the advance ruling had pronounced, the bench had pronounced that in case the value of materials is within 25%,
right,
then it is going to be exempt.
Correct.
What if it is more than 25%?
Yes, if it is more than 25%. Now department is saying 18%, but as per me it should be 5%. 5% की tax होनी चाहिए, because here the millers are the job worker. Fine. Now who are the job worker? As per CGST Act, job worker means a person who is working on someone else goods या principal के goods पे काम कर रहा है. When the principal is registered, मतलब the services provided by the job worker is to a registered person. If that is the case, it will be a job work. If the service recipient is unregistered, then it will be a manufacturing process. Okay. The whole crux is over here only, because if millers are providing services as a job worker, it means to a registered person, then GST rate will be 5%. But if the recipient is unregistered, then GST rate will be 18%. So as per my understanding of the law, the recipient, that is government ka department, that department is registered under GST. Okay, so the tax rate should be 5% as per me.
So this is something that we must note, that when services, the job work services are being provided to a registered person, only then it is a job work.
Right.
Otherwise it is a manufacturing
process.
activity or a manufacturing process. So in this case, as per you, the rate should be 5%.
Absolutely.
And why is it that the DGGI is asking for an 18% tax
Yeah, very
rate?
interesting question. DGGI is expecting tax rate GST rate of 18% because DGGI is assuming the services provided by the miller to the government, here government is not registered. That DGGI is saying, because as per DGGI, so here the millers are providing services to the government, and government, as per the law, government is registered. Okay, but what department is saying, you know, government is not registered, so you have to pay a tax rate of 18%. So now here comes the confusion, or you can say the dispute. Government department is saying government is not registered, and we are saying yes, government is registered. So we have to check the definition of registered person. If you go to section 2 clause 94, that defines registered person, and as per that section, definition section, it is very clearly said a person is registered if it is registered under section 25, and section 25 clearly says a person will be registered जो भी section 22 और या फिर 24 में registration इसको लेना है. 22 we all know is for threshold and 24 is for compulsory registration, and in section 24 there is an entry of TDS. सेक्शन 24 बोलता है अगर किसी को टीडीएस काटना है, इफ एनी पर्सन इज लायबल टू डिडक्ट टीडीएस, he have to get himself registered as a GST tax deductor. Now here comes the main point. But department is saying government is not having a regular registration. Department is having a GST registration as a tax deductor. So here there is a dispute. But if you read the law, it is very clear, there is no question of any doubt. It is very clearly mentioned as per GST law, as per CGST Act, if any person is registered as a tax deductor for the whole law, he will be considered as registered person. It is very clearly mentioned in that. I don't know, but department is assuming only if it is regular registration, then only they will be considered as registered person. So here is this is the main point of dispute.
I think there is no dispute at all over here. So I mean, it is so clear.
Yeah, definitely. As per me, there is no dispute at all. भाई जो law बोलता है उसके हिसाब से there is no dispute, but department is insisting and they have collected the tax. As I read in the newspaper, they have collected huge tax from the taxpayers. Okay, they have given already 18%.
Which is definitely a major hardship for all the taxpayers.
Definitely, it's a big amount.
Yeah, definitely.
5%, 18%, it's almost 3.5 times, I think.
Absolutely. And for somebody whose services were exempt,
for them it is 18%. And the most problematic thing for them, those who were assuming that it was 0%, they haven't availed the ITC. So for them, the cost will be very big because in this particular industry, so far as I know, inputs are ITC is more than the 5% output tax. So those who have not availed ITC, it will be a huge burden for them.
Definitely, sir. But I think there was a ray of relief which came, I think, on 8th December, wherein there was a letter issued by the government of West Bengal, wherein it was almost clarified that these services are going to be exempt after giving reference to the advance ruling which we have recently, which we just now discussed. So, sir, could you just also throw some light? I think it is a big relief for all the millers.
No, it's a misconception because I have also seen that circular or letter, whatever you say, but I'll say it's a simple letter. I saw on the social media, this letter was there on the social media. In this letter, simply a Food and Supply Department of West Bengal government is requesting to whom? The Chief Commissioner of GST and to DGGI, though DGGI have conducted the raids and all and have served the summons. So simply Food and Supply Department is requesting them to keep all the proceeding in abeyance till this particular department has requested the Finance Department of West Bengal to issue some clarification on this. Till then, it has requested कि भी सारी proceedings को एक बार रोक दिया जाए. But I personally feel this letter has no legal validity. This letter cannot be enforced in any court of law. इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, इस लेटर से कोई आने जाने नहीं है. That's what I feel. इसका कोई legal outcome कुछ भी नहीं होने का है. ठीक है, तो might be many millers are feeling relaxed कि चलो गवर्नमेंट ने क्लैरिफिकेशन इशू कर दिया. But friends, this is not a clarification. This is nothing. It's a simple request letter. That's it.
Okay, so this was something new for us. And of course, I think for a lot of our viewers also, that this letter is not enforceable in the court of law. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
So yes, so what we can conclude out of this particular letter is that the department, the Food and Supplies Department, is simply requesting the Commissioner and the DGGI to keep all the proceedings in abeyance. And once the clarification is issued by the Finance Department of West Bengal.
West Bengal, correct.
Okay, so the Finance Department of West Bengal is expected to issue a clarification.
Fine.
After which things will be clear.
Yeah, but to add on one point, as the letter was issued, I think on 8th of December, today is already 14th, I think. 6 days has passed, but already all the proceedings are going on. Summons issue, taxpayers are going and respecting the summons. So everything is going on. There is no इस लेटर का कोई भी इफेक्ट नहीं है. There is no effect as expected. इस लेटर का कोई इफेक्ट हो ही नहीं सकता है.
So this is actually just मतलब क्या बोले? It's just a relief.
A mental satisfaction. I think a taxpayer will also come to know within a day or two कि this letter has no meaning, इस letter से कुछ भी नहीं होने का है, there cannot be a fraction% of relief.
Yes, once they watch our video.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but my question to you is that can the finance department of West Bengal issue a clarification in this regard?
Definitely, finance department, commissioner of GST at the state level, in our case I say West Bengal, have the power under section 168 of West Bengal GST. Commissioner have the power to issue some directions, clarification, but those directions should be in the line of the law, in the uniformity of the law. It doesn't mean that commissioner will come and say something new. No, only commissioner can give some clarification which is already there in the law to make the things easy. Definitely commissioner can issue some clarifications on this.
So, sir, will the clarification would be with respect to the tax rate that okay, this service is exempt or this is under.
That is not possible at all. Might be these words will pinch the taxpayers, those who are watching this video, but the fact is, whatever finance department do, whatever commissioner of GST at the state level do, भाई ये जो लेटर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल फूड एंड सप्लाई डिपार्टमेंट ने दिया कि नहीं, ये तो या तो 0% होना चाहिए. No such circular or clarification can be issued by the Commissioner of GST at West Bengal level. It's not possible, because if you read the letter issued by the government of West Bengal have given the facts. Yes, material ka component is less than 25%. Fine, that can be challenged in the court, but that can't be issued in law कि भाई इस केस में 25% से कम मटेरियल है. That is something impossible. Taxpayer, you all have to understand this. ये possible ही नहीं है कि गवर्नमेंट ऐसा कोई clarification ला देगा. Yes, but there is one point. Government, West Bengal government can do a favor over here. What government can do? Government can clarify that yes, government is registered person. As per the law, government should be treated as registered person because that department of government is registered as a tax deductor. तो भाई ठीक है, फिर गवर्नमेंट रजिस्टर्ड है, so that can be a relief. How it can be a relief? Because if government is registered, DGGI is saying it's taxable, and suppose if clarification comes कि yes, government is registered, so the tax rate that DGGI was charging at the rate of 18%, that will come down straight away to 5%. That much relief only finance department of West Bengal, I mean commissioner of GST can give. Only that much relief. So that will be a big relief for those who are already paying at the rate of 5%. But those who are at 0%, definitely there is some relief, but still the amount will be huge. So that there can't be total relief for them, those who are paying 0% currently.
But I think then the question of relief does not come at all, because it's either exempt or 5%. Which is the right tax rate?
As for me, the tax rate should be either 0%, I mean exempt, or 5%. 18% there is no way in the picture. I don't know from where this 18% came. It's really very strange. Or might be we come to know something new. Or there is a possibility if government comes and change the act retrospectively. Government can do anything. That's a different thing. But currently, as per the current reading of the law, भी जो कानून में लिखा हुआ GST law में लिखा हुआ, उसके हिसाब से either 0 if it is less than 25%. If material component is more than 25%, it has to be 5%.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what would be the next course of action for the people? So, the next course of action. What is the next course of action for the taxpayers, say, who have already made the payment or who have been issued summons,
correct,
etc.? So, what is it that they should do?
If I treat all the taxpayers, there we can classify them in different categories. When search was carried on, suppose I think so far as I read in the newspaper, there were in total 8 mills on which search were carried on. उसमें कुछ लोगों ने टैक्स दे दिया हुआ, मान लो कुछ ने नहीं दिया. I don't know the facts, I don't know the numbers. ठीक है. So those who have paid tax, they are in different position, and those who have not paid tax, they are in different position. So those who have not paid tax, definitely उन पे समन किया गया होगा. And जिन लोगों पे सर्च नहीं हुई, because there are in total 104 mills in West Bengal. तो भाई जिन लोग पे सर्च हुआ नहीं, उन लोगों को भी समन किया गया होगा. भाई those who have got the summon under section 70 of CGST Act, definitely they have to respect the summon. You can't ignore this summon. You have to go and visit in person, or you can send a legal representative with proper power of attorney, giving the reasons why you not accompanying, विथ हिम, आप क्यों नहीं जा रहे हो ये बोल के आप अपने लीगल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को भेज सकते हो, बट यू कांट इग्नोर दैट. तो let us take one by one. Those who have got the summon currently, what will happen with them? Summon होगा, पूछताछ होगी, and after that there might be some show cause. Okay, कुछ letters exchange होंगे, उसके बाद show cause होगा, फिर fight होगी. I think they are in much better position because we know law बोल रहा है या तो 0 या 5%. So believe me, you are in much better position. Okay, but what about those who have already paid the tax? Really, they are in very bigger problem because भाई जो लोग टैक्स पे कर दिए, देयर कैन बी अ सिचुएशन, आई डोंट नो भाई उनको वॉलंटरली पेमेंट कराया गया या कैसे, बट इफ दे हैव पेड द टैक्स वॉलंटरली, देयर इज अ चांस कि डिपार्टमेंट कोई आपको सो कॉज इशू नहीं करेगा. भाई दे गॉट देयर टैक्स, भाई क्यों सो कॉज इशू करेंगे वो लोग आपको सो कॉज भी नहीं देंगे, भाई उनका टैक्स मिल गया. Now for the interest part, what they will do during assessment or any departmental audit, they'll ask for the interest. भाई आपने इतना टैक्स पे किया, इस पे इतना इंटरेस्ट बनता था, चलिए अब आप वो इंटरेस्ट पे कीजिए. सो ये सिचुएशन होगी उन लोगों के लिए. तो अब क्वेश्चन ये राइज होता है भाई उनके पास कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन क्या, वो करें क्या आगे जाके. Look, in this case, either you can file a writ. भाई आप एक रिट फाइल कर सकते हो इन हाई कोर्ट. Now when we ask for the writ, now the question comes, jurisdiction क्या होगा इसका, because we are registered in West Bengal, millers are registered in West Bengal, but the letter was issued from DGGI Delhi. So in this case, jurisdiction can be either West Bengal, Calcutta High Court, or it can also be Delhi High Court. कहीं पे भी आप writ file कर सकते हैं, कहीं पे भी jurisdiction बनाया जा सकता है. That is not at all a issue. क्योंकि मेरे को पर्सनल लगता है कोई सोकोस भी नहीं आएगा, हो सकता है अगर आपने पूरा टैक्स पे कर दिया है तो. फाइन. Now, second option what you have is, suppose we have paid the tax voluntarily, but हो सकता है ना गलती हो गई भी, हमें नहीं पता था उस वक्त हमसे गलती हो गई. भाई आपसे चाहे लिखवा भी लिया गया होगा कि आपने टैक्स वॉलंटरली दिया, भाई वॉलंटरली मिस्टेक तो हो सकता है. सो व्हाट वी कैन डू, व्हाट मिलर्स कैन डू, दे कैन क्लेम रिफंड ऑफ एक्सेस टैक्स पेड. ठीक है, और इसका 2 साल का टाइम है. फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ पेमेंट यू हैव 2 years, विद इन 2 years यू कैन क्लेम द रिफंड. So you can use that route. So what I feel, अगर सो कॉज नहीं आता या तो आप रिट में जाइए या फिर आप एक्सेस पेमेंट ऑफ टैक्स का रिफंड लीजिए. तो डेफिनेटली इट्स अ बिग अमाउंट इन्वॉल्व. तो अगर आप एक्सेस पेमेंट ऑफ टैक्स का आप एप्लीकेशन भी करेंगे तो देयर माइट बी सम डेफिशिएंसी मेमो और सम आरएफडी 08, पता नहीं क्या क्या होगा, और हो सकता है आपका रिफंड रिजेक्ट भी हो जाए कोई ग्राउंड पे. Then in that case you have to go in appeal and all this, appeal फिर कोर्ट, उस तरह से आपको पैसे निकलवाने होंगे. ओके, या फिर आप रेट फाइल कीजिए. सो दीज आर द 2 ऑप्शंस करेंटली, बट स्टिल वी शुड वेट फॉर अ व्हाइल कि भाई वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट कमिश्नर क्या कोई सर्कुलर लाते हैं, क्या इस चीज को क्लैरिफाई करते कि नहीं ये रजिस्टर्ड है. क्योंकि अगर ये रजिस्टर्ड है तो कुछ तो रिलीफ मिल गया इनडायरेक्टली. ओके, सो दैट इन दैट केस विल बी इन अ बेटर पोजिशन. I expect कि वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट को भी जल्दी से जल्दी कुछ, बिकॉज इट्स अ ह्यूज अमाउंट इन्वॉल्व. सो फार एज आई नो मिलें बंद हो जाएंगी अगर इस तरह से हुआ, तो दे विल नॉट बी इन अ पोजीशन टू प्रोवाइड आटा, नहीं प्रोवाइड कर पाएंगे. तो गवर्नमेंट कुछ ना कुछ सर्कुलर लाएगी वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट. और मैंने पहले भी कहा सर्कुलर लाएगी तो एक ही सर्कुलर ला सकती है कि गवर्नमेंट का वो डिपार्टमेंट रजिस्टर्ड है, दैट कैन गिव अ रिलीफ ऑफ 5%. भी आपका 5% टैक्स लगेगा, देन यू कैन क्लेम अ रिफंड in excess of 5% whatever you have paid.
So there are 2 questions coming out of this now. The writ petition that you mentioned, what exactly can be asked, or what can be challenged? Because over here what is happening is that there is a voluntary payment which has been made by the taxpayer. Now they are going for a writ. So on what grounds?
Basically writ is for any violation of fundamental rights. So in that way you have to file a writ कि भाई हम पे प्रेशर किया गया. आई डोंट नो व्हाट वर द फैक्ट्स, बट इस तरह के कुछ फैक्ट्स लाके कि भाई हम अपनी इच्छा से टैक्स नहीं दिए, यू कैन फाइल अ रिट.
Definitely. And coming to the refund part of it, since we just have 2 years, and 2 years is a very short span of time when it comes to litigation in India.
Very correct.
So of course we don't know how long can cases go on. So coming to the refund part, क्योंकि deficiency memo अगर issue हो जाता है and it gets time barred, so definitely we have to be a little proactive. or we have to be a little quick probably in making this decision, sir?
Definitely. Look, in case of refund also, there is some very big, you can say, flaw in the law. So, suppose you have filed a refund and department issues some deficiency memo कि भाई इसमें ये कमी है. So, when you fulfill all those deficiency, then the next application will be treated as fresh application. So, that is the very big problem in this law. तो अगेन फॉर मान लीजिए ऐसा करते करते 2 साल हो गया, it's not a very big issue, it can happen, then again for that you have to file a writ for that also, but it's our fundamental right. भाई मैंने अप्लाई विद इन 2 ईयर कर दिया था, अब उसमें कोई डेफिशिएंसी आ रही है तो हाउ डिपार्टमेंट कैन ट्रीट द, मेरी जो डेफिशिएंसी को मैं ठीक कर रहा हूं, हाउ दैट कैन बी ट्रीटेड एज अ फ्रेश एप्लीकेशन. उसको फ्रेश एप्लीकेशन तो नहीं ट्रीट होना चाहिए, तो उसके लिए भी फिर रेट होगा. तो अल्टीमेटली these things जो भी अभी ये सिनेरियो क्रिएट हुआ, थिंग्स कैन नॉट बी सेटल्ड इन अ इजी वे. इट विल टेक इट्स अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस. यू हैव टू गो अप टू कोर्ट. मतलब ये मेरे को नहीं लगता कि ये लोअर लेवल पे सेटल होगा, एटलीस्ट फॉर द 0%, बिकॉज इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन, आई से यू 25% डिपार्टमेंट इज सेइंग कि इट शुड बी लेस देन 25%. Being a taxpayer, I'll say yes, it is within 25%. Now government will say no, it is not within 25%. Now what will happen? Some will take cost price, koi lega market price. So there will be lots of issue. But one thing, in this case, what I have read in the newspaper and the news websites and all, कि government also asks the tax on bran and the refraction. I mean non-monetary consideration. So ये जो ब्रांड और रिफ्रैक्शन पे टैक्स मांग लिया ना, ये टैक्स पेयर के लिए फायदा हो गया. द रीजन बीइंग कि अगर ब्रांड और रिफ्रैक्शन पे टैक्स ले रहा है, इट मींस उसको भी कंसिडरेशन का पार्ट मान रहा है. ब्रांड, रिफ्रैक्शन, गनी बैग्स की वैल्यू को भी अगर कंसिडरेशन का पार्ट माने तो व्हाट विल हैपन, द बेस विल इंक्रीज. इफ बेस विल इंक्रीज देन डेफिनेटली मटेरियल का परसेंटेज इज बाउंड टू कम डाउन. तो ये अच्छी बात है अगर वो उसको कंसिडरेशन मान रहे हैं. डेफिनेटली इट इज कंसिडरेशन आल्सो. वो तो कंसिडरेशन है ही है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. ठीक है ना. तो इन दैट केस इट विल डेफिनेटली कम डाउन टू बिलो 25%. ओके.
Okay, so that was an insightful answer, sir. So there's another question which I have now that GST audit is going on for even financial year 1920, and
yeah, 18-19 is currently going on.
Yes, sir. So 18-19, as you said, yes, the audit for the previous years are going on, and I think the tax has been collected for those years.
Yeah, it's retrospective.
Correct. So what do we as auditors, what should we take care of? Like what is it that we should mention in the audit report?
Correct.
And obviously a lot of professionals would want to know this if they have clients who are millers, that say for example they have either paid some amount or they have been issued a summon. In all these situations, what is it from GST audit's point of view that an auditor should take?
As a GST auditor, whatever taxes has been paid, definitely we have to disclose that. Even if there is any summon, we have to disclose that. But if as an auditor, I have to comment on that whether the tax rate is 18% or 5%, I will say 5%. I will not say कि taxpayer has paid lesser tax, कि उसको 18 था, 5 देना था. I will not say that. I will say either 5% or 0% after looking the numbers whether material component is less than 25% or more than 25%. No way 18%. I will not vote for that 18%.
Indeed. Obviously, when we are of a clear opinion that the tax rate should be 5%, then of course we are going to definitely write 5% in the audit report.
Right.
So thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful answers that you gave, and I'm sure it's going to help a lot of our viewers who are professionals as well as a lot of
definitely we have to take all these matters very cautiously and patiently, because decisions will not come in a month, or even if it come in a year, you will be very lucky. So you have to keep patience and you have to keep fighting, because here the fight will be of matter of fact also regarding more than 25% or less than 25%. But I say those who are paying 5%, they will be the biggest gainer in this, because of one clarification from the state government commissioner will solve their all problems.
Absolutely. There's just one message for all the professionals who are watching this video. ये start है, ये शुरुआत है. This is the beginning of litigation.
Yeah, right, definitely.
So, this is like the basics that we are probably discussing, and this has to go on, this will go on. आज millers का केस आया है, but you know tomorrow there'll be some other matter or some other
Yeah,
case
definitely.
because
State central DGI has his own stand, his own interpretation. There is always litigation. तभी होता है ना भाई, वो कुछ सोच रहे हैं, मैं कुछ सोच रहा हूँ. Now court of law will decide what is the correct.
Absolutely. So, after thorough discussion on this entire matter, I would just like to summarize whatever we have discussed till now. So, we began with what exactly do these milling industries do? That is, they just simply provide job work services to the department of the state government who is going to supply the wheat flour through public distribution system. Now, the question came, what is the tax rate on such job charges? According to an advance ruling which was pronounced in Feb 20, in case the value of the material in the entire value of supply is less than 25%, it will be exempt. If it is not exempt, that is, if the value of material is more than 25%, what is the tax rate? It is 5%, which is very clear because the department of the state government is considered to be a registered person.
Registered person? As a registered as a tax director, so it's registered. Even if government department is not complying with the rules of principle like ITC 04 and all, that doesn't matter. भाई ITC 04 तो मैं देख भी नहीं सकता कि वो comply कर रहा है कि नहीं. So we don't know about that कि हो सकता है government department से कि नहीं वो तो comply नहीं कर रहा as a principle अपनी duty. That doesn't matter. Like GSTR 1 फाइल नहीं होता है, 3B फाइल नहीं होता है. That has been clearly mentioned. अगर ये फाइल नहीं होगा, you will be penalized. Taxpayer will be penalized. But in this case, I don't think that will create any difference. I'll say 5%.
Absolutely. So that is about the tax rate. The DGGI or the department who has conducted the search, they are saying that the tax rate should be 18%, which we do not agree with. And accordingly, whatever payment has been made by the taxpayer, they can claim a refund.
Definitely.
And there's another point that I would like to mention here, since we were discussing about the 2 years relevant date. These are things again which are coming into picture now. Because earlier probably so many refunds were not filed, so this 2 years problem, deficiency memo, that was
I
not
think a change in law is required for this 2 years wala concept, because every fresh after deficiency memo every application is treated as fresh. तो वो चीज change होना चाहिए. Let's see.
Government which actually is defeating the purpose of the legislation.
Definitely.
So the refund is one option. They can also go for a writ petition, and accordingly we've had a good discussion on the writ petition as well. And of course, the GST auditor has to take care of ensuring that all these details are mentioned in the audit
Correct.
report after giving their own opinion. So thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful discussion. We've had a great and wholesome discussion. So thank you so much, viewers, for watching, and again do subscribe to our channel if you haven't connected with us yet. Share it among your professional friends and also miller owners that you know, so that everybody.
And if anyone has some suggestion, because it's all about law, because if anyone is on the department side and saying it should be 18%, your suggestions are and your arguments are most welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.